seems to be working really, really well. Can I see any of this stuff? So in this hose, there's all kinds of like particulate coming out, and you can't really see because I got my orange bucket. But in this hose and down in there, there's chunks of stuff. Like, it looks like a rock. See that? That looks like a rock. That little thing in there, that dark thing. That little white thing there, that's some kind of something or other gross stuff. There's a bunch down here. So maybe this is working. So I'm going to empty this in my container over here, and I'm gonna do the same thing a few times until I don't see any more of those rocks coming out. Okay, this has worked out great so far. I switched these once and then switched them back to be moving the water through, and I think everything is good and clear. What I've done here, this is kind of stupid, I don't know. I've just put a little funnel up here, and this is my hose that again is the back flush. I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of my cleaner that I'm going to stick into the radiator when I put the distilled water in there. I'm going to pour a little in. It's all supposedly going to helping. Just going to put a little in and just see if it does any good. Just let it sit there for a few minutes and then flush one more time just to see what happens. But then the rest of it, this is all buttoned up. Oh wait, I won't put this in yet because I gotta change my thermostat while I'm doing things. But I just used a little bit of this, not enough to make a difference. I'll still be able to put this in my radiator when I do my real flush. Because how this is supposed to work is on the directions it says blah blah blah. Drain water, pour contents in the radiator and fill with water. And then it says run it and get it to operating temperature for 10 minutes and then drain it. So that's what we're going to do with the rest of this. Okay, let's just let this sit for a few minutes, go have a chocolate chip cookie, and then flush it one more time, and then we'll put it all back together. That worked out slick. So I replaced everything back where it's supposed to go. My little dot is on the dot, so I know that I didn't mess up the hoses, so it's back. I put the clamps back on tight, and those will all be checked in case if there's any leaks. But everything else is ready. So now the next thing I'm going to try to do, put a bucket down there, but I am going to, while I'm at it, this is the upper radiator hose, and it goes into this fixture here. This is where my thermostat is. I want to replace my thermostat because I bought a new one, and I don't know how old this one is. On all these jobs, including the brake thing I worked on last time, all these screws that I'm going to have to undo, these bolts, a couple days before I hit them with penetrating grease, whatever you want. I use whatever that PB Blaster stuff, WD-40 would work, anything like that. Just so that hopefully it'll make it easier to get these things off. I think there's 1, 2, 3 of these to get this off, and I put a bucket in case there's leaking, although this should be empty up here, but probably something might drip out, which is okay. And then I'm going to scrape the little gaskets, if there are. I don't know what's actually in there. Make sure the mating surfaces are clean between the housing and the actual engine here. And then I will put it back without the thermostat in so that this system is wide open, because the next thing we'll do is put that cleaner back in the radiator, and then we'll fill it with distilled water and we'll turn it on, and we want everything to circulate. And so I'm not going to go any place with it. I'm going to drive very short distance, maybe 5 minutes or something, and make sure I watch my coolant temperature in the inside. And this will be open, and hopefully it'll just make everything slosh around real well, circulate. I'll drive with the heater on full blast, so that's getting stuff in it hopefully. And then I will watch my dials, come back, and then we'll basically drain it all again. I don't need to flush the core again, I don't think, but we'll drain it all again through the radiator, collect it, throw another batch of water in it, run it again, this time without the little cleaner in it, drain it, and then we'll be ready to fill it up with actual 50/50 coolant. And the only thing that's a bummer about this is you got to let the engine cool in between running, because of course you can't get to all this stuff with a hot engine with pressure. The only other thing to mention is I did not put any like 50/50 mix of antifreeze in there. I just left it as is. I figure once this starts moving, coolant's going to go in there and force the water that's inside, that's still stuck in that little cooler. It'll force it out. It won't make any difference, I don't think, with the total amount of percentage of glycol. So I think I'm fine just leaving it as it is. I don't think I have to actually put coolant in there. But if you know better and I'm going to destroy my car, let me know within the next couple hours. Haha. Okay, so here we go. There's a little bolt under here. I think it'll come off. Well, that sucker's on there. I got it loosened. Let's just loosen them first before. Wow, tighter than I thought. I'm using a teeny wrench. Maybe I should use a bigger handle. But they're coming off, so it's not going to break something. You'll find out when I find out. That's what's scary about doing this, is that you have no idea what's going to happen as you're doing it. I'll slip under here and just unscrew them kind of by hand. This stuff all terrifies me. I think all I need is to break this whole thing. I'm lucky because this isn't my primary means of transportation. So in that regard, that's good. Because I don't need to worry. So one came out. It's got this funny little end on it. I hope that isn't broken. Huh, that's weird. I've never seen anything like that before. Of course, I'm not a mechanic. Now, I guess I attempt to remove it. Should come off. Oh, came off easy. Came off like a charm. Alright, so, let's see. Should just come right out. It's gonna. I might have to use a little friendly persuasion with, say, a screwdriver or something. So let's see if I just kind of try it, maybe. Here it comes. As Scotty Kilmer says, and out it comes. All right. So I should probably check and make sure the one I have actually fits. The gasket is a little funny, but I guess it's all right. Looks interesting in there, but anyway. Hopefully this is the same as my other piece. Let's see. So here is old. Here's the new. Slightly different, but the shape is the same. I assume this will fit. This thing is just, looks like it's a little bit different size, but we're going to try anyway to make sure the spring goes to the inside. Now while we're at it, well, it's closed. I was wondering if it's cold, it should be closed, and so it is. So maybe there's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to keep it just in case something terrible happens and this one doesn't fit or whatever. I'm going to keep it because if I have to, I can just put it in again, because my assumption is it's probably okay. But anyway, what I am going to do though is take a plastic spatula and there's some rags and try to clean these mating surfaces out a little bit, and then we'll just try to then we'll screw it back in place, and then we'll start doing our flush. This is why it's so much fun to do stuff yourself. It's cool. This is the new thermostat, and it says 180 Fahrenheit, 82 Celsius, I guess. This is the old one, and I can barely tell, but I think it says 92, maybe Celsius? I can't tell. It doesn't have any kind of degree on it. It's really hard to read this one. So I don't know what it means, but based on other forums, this truck should run about 180 degrees Fahrenheit, so this one should work fine. I'm just curious as to what those things mean. I'm still going to save this one in case something weird happens, but there you go. Now I'm just going to clean that thing out. Okay, here's another example of doing things yourself, which is actually nice. No one would really bother doing this if they're doing this on a timetable. I cleaned that off as best I could with some a lot of just a little bit of carburetor cleaner actually, but not sprayed directly, just on a rag and kind of smushed it around, and then it loosened some stuff, and then I did my plastic spatula and I got some of the grooves cleaned up because the gasket fits right in there, so I want to make sure you've got a good place to sit. And then I went to do the other end, but I ended up just taking it off the hose and then cleaning the whole unit because it was just filthy, full of oil and gack and yuck. So this part I just cleaned off, and I cleaned these. I actually took a little bit of like 400 grit sandpaper on a super flat sanding block and a little bit of lubricant and just sort of swirled it around very gently, not a lot, because they were all this colored junk on here was bumpy. And I figure again, you want this to be flat against, you want these to mate together. So I did that. So I'm just going to plug this back in, and then I shall let everything kind of air dry, and then have some lunch, and then I'll come out and start adding my distilled water. Okay, so what I've done is put my water in, and just basically turn the car on. I put the cap back on. I kept filling it up so it wouldn't come out, and I started the engine, and then it sucked some down, and then I put some more water in, down where the, here, I got a little bit of a leak, but that's because I don't have a gasket in there. So I'm letting it run for a while. I'm not going to take it for a ride. I'm just going to let it run with the heater on for about 10 minutes. Temperature doesn't seem to have gone up terribly, so we're just going to let it go a little longer. And I'm going to turn it all off, let it drain, let it cool, then drain it, and we'll flush it again. And then I'll put in the thermostat, and then we'll flush it again. Okay, so that worked. It's draining. Everything is draining. What I am going to do now is start to undo the hose connection there so that I can put in my new thermostat. All I got to do is just pop this guy right in. You just make sure the spring side goes into the engine, which is how it was when I found it. And so just gonna slide that in. Good. That is in. So now, yeah, fits like a glove. Fits really nice. So now I'll just put this all together, and then I will wash it out again. Here's what I saved from this first wash. Here's what it looks like. And it looks like antifreeze, it's not clear. And it was kind of bubbly when it came out, so it's definitely not clear. So I want to wash it until, supposedly just water in there, so the water, it should come out clear. So I have to keep washing until then. So I might wash it this time with hose water until I get it pretty clear, and then put my last bunch of distilled, because I don't have that much distilled left, and I gotta have enough to make my mixture. So we'll see. It's lunchtime though. Good news is this thing is working great. It's not leaking anymore, so that gasket worked. The hose is hot, so that means coolant's going through. Everything's going really well, actually. It's just taking a lot longer than I expected, but that's typical. But I can see from the bucket already it's much clearer than it was. I'm gonna rinse it, one more time with part distilled and part tap. Rinse it around. I take it for a ride for about 10 minutes and come back. Isn't overheating. And then I will fill it the last time with my 50-50 mix, and we will see how she goes. Well, I'm on my last drain. Pulled into the garage and doing one more drain. And here's what I got. So this is first flush, second, third, fourth, fifth. And you definitely see a difference, and this one has still got a light color to it, but it's clear. I don't know if you can really tell. It's clear compared to, like, say, this one is definitely still cloudy. And I can't tell much difference between these two. A little bit, but not enough, I don't think, to worry about. So once this washes out, I'm going to go ahead and put in my 50-50 antifreeze. Hot damn, this has worked out great. It's just time consuming, but it's not even that bad once you know what you're doing. So once this is done, I will add everything and take it for one more ride with real coolant and see how she holds. Okay, I just put in my antifreeze. I'll take a little more to put in, but I'm going to take it for a ride. Nothing's leaking. I don't know if you can see it, but there's my temperature. I've never seen it at what's considered operating temperature before. It's never been there before, so it's always much lower. So this is fantastic. Everything seems to be working great. And there's no leaks anywhere. Everything's good. Man, tell you what, we're gonna make this thing actually run if it kills us. Sweet, brakes and coolant. And I never had so much heat in the car. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do my little experiment. I'll put that on the end of this video. Oh man, this is so wonderful to be able to do something like this. Whew. It's usually such a good feeling of satisfaction. So, all right, job well done.